Good afternoon, beautiful brave hearts. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolf. This is DocStar TV. And guess what? I have a beautiful lady on, and her name is Karine. Okay, so it sounds a little different, but don't you just love it? I think it's beautiful. Okay. And we're going to be talking about her 13-year-old boy who's autistic. Now, I need you to know this. When I do Real People, Real Healing, I don't know anything. I know he's 13. I know he's autistic, okay? We're also going to talk about her daughter that has a sore throat. And how old's your daughter, love?
She's 12 years old.
12 years old, okay. Shall we talk about your daughter who's 12 first? Okay. Okay, first of all, most people don't know this, but when children get a sore throat, have you been checking her bowel movements in the last few days?
She was complaining about stomach ache.
Guess what? It's not her tummy. There you go. Everybody just know that I'm right. 100% right when it comes to this stuff. And it's not me being a smarty. It's just, guess what? And it wasn't her tummy. If her mother would have asked her, your stomach is up here just up underneath the ribs. Where her tummy ache was, it was lower. Your tummy's not lower. It was her large intestine, and she's been complaining about a tummy ache for a few days, right?
Yes.
Now understand this, and I need everyone to get this. Children get a sore throat when they have their bowels are sluggish. Now, believe it or not, your daughter's constipated. Okay? Now, does your family eat meat and cheese and bread?
Uh-huh.
Well, then guess what? And how old is she?
She's 12.
12 years old. Well, when their digestive tracts are that young, okay, and they eat meat and cheese and bread, let me tell you something. She's got colitis. That means that she's had bowel waste stagnating in there, and now she has inflammation in her colon. Now, believe it or not, did they not do warm water enemas in your country? Enema bag, enema bucket.
I think, yeah, in my country, do.
Oh, yeah, well, guess what? Your daughter needs an enema, and she's going to need a lot of them if you're going to keep on feeding her meat and bread and cheese, okay? There's nobody that eats meat, bread, and cheese that doesn't have a bowel problem. You do know that, right? Okay? I mean, you have a bowel problem, but you're going to tell me you don't have a bowel problem because no mother, almost every mother doesn't know what bowel movements should look like. I'm going to give you free my perfect day guide. It's a 525-page guide. It shows you what a bowel movement should look for every age group. And it tells you what's wrong with the person when they have cracks in their bowel movement, when they have skinny stool, when they got rabbit-type stool, when it's mushy, when a person is trying to grunt to get it out, when they can hardly make it to the bathroom. These are all problems. The large intestine is 85% of the immune system. And guess what? You ready for this? We're going to be talking about your son, and he's 13, right?
Yes.
And you want to know what the biggest problem is for every autistic child? Their bowels. Their bowels. They all have trouble going to the bathroom until they get diarrhea. Okay? Every autistic child has gut-brain disconnection, and it's not the gut. It's the large intestine, because something happened to your child, whether they got the V, whether they had too many antibiotics, or something like that, that actually knocked out command central. And command central is actually the good bacteria in the large intestine. You can't give me one autistic person that doesn't have a bowel problem. And if you're feeding your autistic son meat, cheese, and bread, you are going to blow him up. You're going to blow him up. He needs things that are easier to digest, same with your daughter, and they need to be whole plant-based, high vibrational foods. If you were to watch your son and your daughter's bowel movements and you were to look in my book, you would know what you did the day before. because their bowel movements are a computer printout. Computer printout. And understand something. There hasn't been hardly any mothers, maybe 1 out of 1,000, that have been taught that a bowel movement will tell you everything about the child's diet the day before. And what every mother should know is that, are you ready for this? 95 to 98% of all illness comes from a dysfunctional large intestine. And your daughter did not have stomach problems. She had gas ass. And that's the only pandemic that I know that's going on in the world is gas ass. Do you know what that is? That's where you got gas and it's trapped. And you know the pain she was feeling? That was actually gas trapped in her large intestine pushing pressure. And the gas was caused by endobacterium, which is bad bacteria that gas off. And so what happens is if that continues, the throat gets sore. Do you know why the throat gets sore? Because she's absorbing infection into her pelvis area, and that's getting into her blood. And this is an alarm system. Okay, let me help you out. So, do you think the body is stupid or smart?
Smart.
Do you think that the body would maybe have a sore throat so the person would stop eating because their bowels aren't moving and you don't want to be packing more waste in there? Just because there's traffic coming into the city doesn't mean it's not backed up for 50 miles. Do you understand? Okay? So, you may not be getting the gas cramps because understand something. Children get the gas cramps and the heavy pains. Your daughter, how old is she?
She's 12 years old.
Okay, well, wait till her periods come. Her periods are going to be painful because she's got stagnated waste, rotting and putrefying in her large intestine. So she's going to have she could have blood clots. She could have cysts on her ovaries. You can get them that young, trust me. I just did talk to a lady with Real People, Real Healing. Everybody, if you want to see my Real People, Real Healing like we're doing here today, go to my library and you'll see a lot of my shows in there under Real People, Real Healing. And for those of you that missed my shows, go to Telegram, Doc of Detox on Telegram. You'll see all my shows because on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, they're hard to catch up with. But understand something. Just so you know, when I was 26, I created the North American Institute for the Advancement of Colon Therapy. Okay? When I was 32 years old, my manual that I created on bowel conditioning and cleansing was used by the United States Senate group on a study on colon cancer. And understand something, if you were to perfect your children's bowel movements, your autistic son and your daughter, for one thing, your daughter would have a higher IQ. She'd sleep better. She wouldn't be as grumpy. She wouldn't be as moody. She'd have more energy. She'd be more playful. And the reality is that the large intestine, it is not a garbage can like everybody treats it. So you need to get that. And mothers don't know better. So here's the deal. So what we've done is, you have to understand that these psychos that control the world, that always have controlled the world, they have also done all the educating for all the medical system and all the educating on health in every school all the way through university. And that's why when you become a mother, we don't even know how to feed our children right. We don't know what to do when they get sick. And all they do is they want to give them drugs, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, well, guess what? Do you want to know why? So your daughter has a sore throat, but she's going to go from a sore throat to having a fever pretty soon because the fever is to try to burn off the infection from all the waste that she's absorbing from her large intestine into her pelvis that's infecting her pelvis. So the reality is this. Take the tonsils. I'm trying to help you understand here. From a sore throat, it's going to go to tonsils. Then she's going to have tonsillitis, which just means inflammation of the tonsils. And when you get inflammation of the tonsils, it's because the large intestine has what's called the cecum. And when the cecum gets impacted with waste, the tonsils will get inflamed. Did you know that? And that's an alarm system. So then what we do is we want to cut those out because we don't want our children to be in pain. And then after we cut them out, we'll give them ice cream, which is sugar. That'll cause even more trouble in their bowels. And understand something. Just know this, okay? You can't give kids a lot of bread, meat, and cheese. It'll just cork them up. You make them into a wine bottle. And if the waste can't move out, they're going to have all kinds of gas problems. Let me tell you something. Do you have low back pain? Do you get swelling in your tummy, mommy?
Yeah.
That's right. And do you know why you have low back pain? Do you know why you get swelling in your tummy? Oh, because your child doesn't get that yet. But she's just getting the inflammation and the pain because that's how the body talks to you. Her body's saying, you can't keep eating all this cheese. You can't keep eating all these dead animals. You can't keep on giving all this bread. And then guess what? And you need to drink, little girl, you need to drink structured water, and you need to drink warm structured water. And how much does she weigh?
120.
120 pounds, and she's 13. She's overweight.
She's overweight.
Oh my God. Okay, she's not overweight. She's overwaste. She's got so much waste in her rotting. Did you know that, mommy? I'm not picking on you, and never think I do. I love you, mommy. I love all mummies. But mummies don't know what they're doing because guess what? The food industry takes care of all the health teaching, and all they want to do is have everybody just step on their foot and have their mouth drop open and give them dead food. Are animals alive or dead?
Alive.
When you eat meat, is it alive or dead?
Oh, dead.
So how much electricity does it have in it? How much energy does it have in it? Electricity?
I guess none.
None. Okay, so how many dead animals will it take to heal your children? Now, everybody has been programmed that we need animal protein. No, we need amino acids. We need amino acids. You know, you can give a few beans, a handful of beans, black beans, and put them on a salad. That has as much delivery of protein as a big 10-ounce steak. Did you know that? Did you know that all animal protein has to be broken down into amino acids because it's what the body needs? And guess what? Do you rush your children at supper? Do you rush them? That's right. So guess what? You're creating anxiety. If you rush your children at supper time, guess what? Are you making them fearful? When children are fearful, they go into fight, fright, flight. That means, are you ready for this, Mom? You might want to write this down. 70% of all their blood supply and energy goes to their arms and legs. Meanwhile, they're just sitting. And now they don't have the energy in their digestive tract to digest the food. So if food doesn't digest, what happens to it? It rots. It's called putrefaction. You have to allow your children to come to the table, and you've got to make sure that when your children come to the table, it's really important that that's not a place where you tell them they didn't clean their room, they didn't do their homework, and they didn't do this and they didn't do that. Okay? Understand something. A lady just came on here. Her name is Sunshine. I want to say something to everyone. If you knew what I could do for autistic children, it would blow your mind. And understand, autistic children, guess what people do? When families have autistic children, they go to the same system that helped caused it. And the child stays there for the rest of their life as a slave. And I don't care what people think anymore because we have autistic children. Or how about this one? My child's on the spectrum. Well, in most cases, that's the child that's getting so much sugar, so much dairy, and so much processed food. It's not on the spectrum. You just infected it so much you inflamed its brain, and the child can't even process. The computer's blowing up. And that's the God's truth. Mothers and fathers are beautiful. They are not bad people. They are people that have been programmed with bad beliefs. And understand something. If, your daughter, if you were to actually get her on a perfect day diet, Karina, I'm going to send you my perfect day guide. I want you to go in and look at the 4 pillars of the perfect day, and I want you to read the guide. It's going to come as a PDF. Can you read on a computer?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to send it. I can send it to your phone, or I can send it to your email. Would you like me to send it to your email?
Yes, please.
Now, this is a 525-page book. And what I'd like you to do is to go through it and read it, and then come back on live and then question me and challenge me, okay? Like challenge me like I'm going to be a detective and prove that Dr. Wolf doesn't know what he's talking about, okay? And then what's going to happen is then see if you can find where I've got holes in my theories, and then come back on, because I love the challenge. I really do. I want you to do that because, see, I need to make you to understand that if you don't become the detective for your family and stop listening to people. Did you ever notice something? The diet that you eat, the majority of the population eats. Now, is the majority of the population in good condition? No, they're not. If I give you some statistics, right off the bat, I could give you one. I could give you one that, guess what? We're now looking at 86 to 88% that people are overweight. That 40 to 60% of the population, depending what state you go into in the United States, is obese. Did you get that? Now, they're all eating like you. Some of them are eating more fast food than you, but they're all eating like you. You know, the reality is this. We've got the majority of the population has an autoimmune disease. Okay, the majority of the population has low back pain. The majority of the population has infection and inflammation throughout their body, and nobody's cluing in. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, love. 1 second. I'm just going to wave to a few people here on Instagram. Okay, so let's get back to this. So,
can I call my son too? I didn't know that this all will happening.
can you call him? You can do anything you want.
Yeah, so he will come and listen.
Yes, lovey. Okay, and is that your autistic son?
No.
Or your other son? Okay.
No.
All right. So you need to understand, everybody, and this is the God's truth. This is just a beautiful woman who has had her heart broken, like every other mother. You know, here's the deal. This is what women say when they're young. I just want to be a mother, and I just want to get married, and I just want to look after my children, and I just want to look after my husband. I want to be there. I want to be there for them. I just want to be that. And guess what? There's not one woman out there that gets given a manual called the Perfect Day Manual that I put together over the last 40 years. And let me tell you something. And this is how it goes, guys. And I can't do it any easier. I really can't. You get a consultation from us. It's $150. I'm going to give you this 525-page manual. It is the most powerful take action manual in the world. And if you don't think that I was telling you the truth, then guess what? Once you pay the $150 for the consult, guess what you're getting? You're getting unlimited for life telephone support, because you can't learn health overnight. It's like a language. I'll be with you in a second, sweetie. And the reality is this. Now you get to keep the PDF for free. And if you think that I was wrong, just call up and we'll give you your money back. And I'm telling you, we charge $150. Nobody else does this. Okay? And if you want the hard copy, which I'll tell you something, this book is worth tens of thousands of dollars. If you don't believe me, wait till you get the PDF. But I will charge you only $75 for it. Okay, so if you get a consultation, it'll cost you $225 with the hardcover, and we'll give you the PDF too. Or just get the PDF. You don't have to buy that one, because it's $75, and if you were to try to run this off, it'll cost you $175. It's all colored pictures. It's a big manual. It looks like this. You will use this as your health guide Bible. You really will. And you will find out that you can become your own practitioner with this book. I have taken 40 years to write this, okay? And I need everyone to understand out there, I only mean best by you. And like I told you, there's not a woman out there that hasn't done everything that they can. There's not a father that hasn't done everything they can. And everybody's been programmed to poison themselves and their family. And God love us. God love every one of us. But the reality is this. You've been ruled and screwed over. That's it. Screwed over. You know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. You go ahead and go to school for 12 years. Then I want you to go and become a medical doctor or a naturopathic doctor and find out what you know. And then guess what? I will challenge you that you don't even know 1/10 of what's in this book called The Perfect Day Lifestyle Guide. You don't. Any medical doctor want to come on and challenge me? I'll send you the PDF of my book. You can go through it. Any medical doctor, any naturopathic doctor. Why do I say naturopathic? Because guess what? They go to school for 4 years now, and guess what? They went to the other side. Naturopathic doctors have gone to the other side. If you go to naturopathic school, why don't you ask? I talk to naturopathic doctors all the time who come and take my whole life coach course, okay? And that's a 9-day course, and they tell me they've learned more in that 9 days. And we're talking nurses and doctors and chiropractors, and they tell me they learned more in my 9 days than they learned the whole time they went to school. And understand something, you can say BS to me, but guess what? You come to my course for 1 day, I'll let you sit in there for 1 day and then tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. And understand something, there's a genius in everyone, there's a practitioner in everyone, there's a doctor in everyone. And if Karina doesn't become the practitioner doctor for her family, which she's going to be, if you go through my book, and if you want a hardcover because you're getting a consult, anybody that's had a consult from me can buy a hardcover for $75. Okay, they can buy it, but I'm not selling my book to somebody for $75, which is cost for us, and that's shipped to your door. Okay, and this is a beautiful book. It's not like some little book that you look through and you read. It's got all the pictures of how you do everything, exercises, how do you do a vaginal infusion, how you do the ultimate coffee, how you do therapeutic vomiting, how do you do clapping. It's got everything in it. Listen to me, I'm going to rock the world before I leave. I'm going to turn everything upside down and backwards, and then it'll be going forwards. And that's how this has to happen. And don't get me wrong, it's the mood I'm in today, because I'm telling you right now, every day, right now, I am getting so many people calling me, okay? Calling me. They're crying, they're breaking down, they're at their end. And understand something, we have to come together as human beings, as a family on this planet. And I'm not kidding. So I'm putting everything into this that I can. And I'm going to serve everybody that I possibly can. Why do you think, go find somebody that has this kind of backing that charges $150 for a consult. And my master trainers only charge that. And you'll get the PDF of The Perfect Day. You'll get unlimited telephone support, and it's an 800 number. So where is it that we're trying to screw you over? Okay, it's the funniest thing, He's a snake oil salesman. That's what somebody just said on here just now. Really? Wow. This is where the world is at right now. And I feel for this person right now, because guess what? Where's the love gone? You know what? They want us to hate each other. And guess what? That's where we are right now. I will never hurt anyone, and I will never hate anyone, and I will never go to war with myself or anybody else. Everybody needs to understand this. And if you think I'm kidding, this is how I live. You can ask my beautiful partner lawyer, or my children, or any of my friends. And understand something. I feel for everyone, but I'm not going to suffer for people. People need to end their suffering. Okay? Whether you're talking about this on an emotional or physical level. And then there's so many religions out there that, it's so steeped in the suffering. And guess what? And then the children have to suffer because the parents don't even know there's a chokehold on them. Anyways. All right, love. So here we go. I'm not telling you to change your whole diet for your family, but I will tell you that when you go to the table, that table has to become a beautiful place where you talk to your children and say, what was your high today? What is it you would like to become? Is there anything that you would like to talk to mommy and daddy about to get off your chest? How was school? Is there any fear inside of you? Is there anything that mommy and daddy could do? Let me tell you something. If you want to really have a really great family, is get rid of all judgment and punishment. Get into observation and explaining things. Because you know what? You got in trouble for the same things that your kids are getting in trouble for when you were younger. Karina, would you like to have been raised with unconditional love or with the stick?
Unconditional love.
Then you better be giving it to your kids. Do not rush them at their meals. Tell them to put the food in their mouth, put their fork down, and chew it until it becomes liquid. Guess what you're going to have? Energetic, healthier kids. You go ahead. This is the way we're all taught. Okay, hurry up, everybody, eat so I can get the dishes done. We got to get going. Really? Really? This is how we're going to do this? The only time of the day where the whole family comes together. Can we just have peace and enlightenment? Can we have support and celebration? Can we be telling each other how much we love each other and care for each other? And even if one of your little kids pissed you off, don't talk to them, get pissed off at them. Just say, look it. Why did you hit your little sister? Why did you take that? Well, just tell me. And then guess what? If they tell you the truth and you don't like it and you punish them, then guess what? They're going to lie to you for the rest of your life. Do your kids... Okay, let me ask you a question. Would you like your kids to fear you?
No.
Why don't you go ask them if they do fear you? And I guarantee you they're going to say, yeah, we kind of do, Mom. Do you know why? Because you're not... And people go, well, you can't be their friend. Well, yes, let me tell you, when I was with my kids, I'm going to tell you something right now, and you can believe it or not believe it. I set them all on the couch. Sage, right now, he was 4 years old, and he was the youngest at the time I did it, and I apologized to all my kids. I said, you know what? I was raised like this, to judge you. I'm not going to judge you guys anymore. Sure, all the way through life, my kids would get drunk, like anybody else. My daughter rode off a car, okay? One of my sons, okay, got pulled over for drunk driving. The reality is, got caught one of my kids stealing. So the reality is this. I asked them why they did it. Do you think you need to do it again? What do I need to do as your father and your protector to help to create an environment that you don't need to do this again? Because kids are beautiful. They're in survival mode because the parents are in survival mode. Our children are the wise ones. They are they're the blessing. They're the ones, if we would just follow their lead. I'm telling you, you maybe didn't think we were going to talk about this today, but the reality is I'm not holding back anymore. We're going into what they call the harvest, and it's going to be for the next 5 to 7 years. There's going to be enough stress in the world, make-believe stress, okay, because that's what it's about. They just want to break us. They want to break every human being down, and because guess what? If your family was in charge for hundreds of thousands of years, after a while, you'd lose yourself and become psycho, and then you would look at us like ants and just crush us. And that's all they're doing right now. So you got to understand something. Is there love in your home? Is there unconditional love in your home? Is there?
Yes.
Oh, really? Really? Did you see how you hesitated? Why'd you just lie to me? You know what? You can't have unconditional love in your home unless you have unconditional love for yourself. Are you married?
Yes.
And is your husband, is he hard on the children?
Sometimes.
Well, no, most of the time. If they don't do what he says. You know what I'm going to do? You may not like me after this consult, but the reality is this. Parents do not treat their children like they are beautiful little spirits. They think they own them. They treat them like animals. I'm not saying your husband does it, but I guarantee you, guess what? Let him watch this. He'll probably want to choke me. But the reality is this. It's not because he's a bad person. It's because we've all been programmed, haven't we? That we need to control things. We need to break things. We need to make them conform to where we are. I'll let that go. But I just want you to do something, and I want you to see this, because I'm going to tell you something, and you can believe it or not believe it. But I'm going to tell you right now, 99.9% of the parents should never have been parents unless they went through a program of unconditional love and care. But how can you do that when we teach everyone that there's a God up there that judges us and probably will send us to hell? How can we do that when our parents, okay, judged us all our life and they didn't even know it? They did the best they could. Who's going to be the hero of the story and actually end the family curse and create a family blessing? And guess what? Love is the answer. Unconditional love is the answer. You know, unconditional love. Let's allow our kids to fall in love with themselves and stay there. Let's never judge them. You know, I'm going to tell you something. By the time that I woke up, I told my kids, you know what I said? Look at it. I never liked school either. I'm telling you that right now. Just try to see if you can get through this thing, okay? And just walk away with a silly diploma. And then guess what? You don't have to go to any more schooling. Let's just find out what your passion and your purpose is. Because all I've ever seen is the longer somebody goes to school, guess what? The more programmed they are. And that's it. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay? So, you know, they teach you that if you don't go to university, you're not a success. Well, there you go. Who cares? You can take that where the light doesn't shine. Okay? The reality is everybody just needs to feel love and care for each other. That's it. So this has a lot to do with your children's sicknesses. Because if your daughter is at the table and she feels stressed, she feels pushed, and she's like a little sensitive creature, guess what? She's not going to digest her food. And you already told me that it's stressful at your table. If it's stressful at your table, guess what? Then you're going to have tons of sickness in your family. Okay? Because guess what? Everyone ready for this? And I'm not trying to do this, and I'm not trying to swear, but I'm going to. Everybody's going to bury their shit. Okay? They won't be able to let go. So they're going to hold on to their crap. You know, start monitoring your children, everybody in the family. After you get my manual, and take a look what a good bowel movement is, and you'll find out your kids aren't having them. They're having these really tight rocks, pellets, or skinny little ribbons because they've got colitis, which is inflammation where the bowel's shutting down. Or they have the tight rocks and that sink to the bottom because they're not drinking enough water, and there's too much animal protein and too much inflammation from all the cheese and the dairy that you give them. Because do some real research. When a child comes off a mother's breast, okay, and if you're giving an autistic child anything but a whole plant-based, high vibrational diet, they're never going to ever get well. You do know that, right? They're not going to get well. They need a high vibrational diet. Do you believe that there's more? Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that there's more life in a salad or in a piece of meat?
In salad.
Do you believe that there's more life in a blender drink of strawberries and oat milk and maybe a raw egg in there? Or do you believe a piece of cheese?
In a blender, what's in there?
Okay, so what do you think we should be feeding them?
More plant-based, I guess.
Oh, you guess. Okay, so you guess. You're making a guess?
No, not guess. Yeah, plant-based vibration. Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you something. Do you believe that we are spirit beings?
Yes.
Do you believe that spirit beings are electrical energy and light?
Yes.
Oh, well, how much electrical light and energy is in a piece of a dead animal?
0.
Okay, how much is in a donut? How much is in cheese? Why don't you feed your kids cheese and then watch 8 hours later when they tell you they've got cramps and they can't go to the bathroom. They've got low back pain. Their joints are aching. They can't think straight. Yogurt is garbage. Cheese, unless yogurt is coconut, made from coconut yogurt, and then it's got to be made properly. You know, everybody that's listening to this show today, you need to download the YUKA app, Yuka app, and you need to scan everything that you buy. And understand something right now. I'm going to tell you something right now, sweetheart. Every sweetheart out there, and you're all sweethearts. Let me tell you this. If it's not wrapped by nature, it doesn't get in my mouth. It doesn't get in my mouth. If it comes from I'm telling you 90% of my diet is wrapped only with nature. 10% might be in a box. It might be in a bag. It might be in a container, but I'm going to scan it. And if it's not 90% on the Yuka app, I'm not buying it. I'm not eating it. And you know what? I always make sure. I don't care how hungry I am, because guess what? When you get tired, when you get hungry, what do you feed your kids? Bread, crackers, cookies, sugar. Yes or no?
Yes.
Guess what? Do you have white sugar in the house? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's poison. Do you have brown sugar in the house?
Yes.
Well, most brown sugar, when you buy it from the store, is just processed molasses that has been run over white sugar. Understand something. No sugar in the house. Only maple syrup and only honey. And you're not going to use a ton of it. No more. If they want something sweet, you're going to give them fruit. You're going to take berries. What about this? Oh my gosh. Take like strawberries and cut them up and then drizzle maple syrup on top of the strawberries. Just drizzle it, not a ton. And that'll blow their minds. And guess what? You know that white sugar? White sugar goes directly into cancer cells and creates them. Maple syrup won't go into a cancer cell, and it doesn't create it. You do know, okay? No, yogurt's no good. Somebody said dipped in yogurt. No, it's got to be coconut yogurt, okay? And people will even say kefir, but that's still dairy. I have trouble with it. If you're blood type A, you're going to have trouble with all dairy, okay? O's do better, but you're still going to get bit. I don't care what anybody says. Yogurt's garbage. Cheese, I wouldn't eat it. Animal products, I'm not telling you I never eat them, but guess what? I only eat very small bits, and you couldn't even count how much I eat animal products in a year, okay? And I'm talking about maybe, organic too. But guess what? I just won't do it. And the reality is this. If you want your kids to not be fat and overweight, because your kids are not fat and overweight, okay? Guess what they are? They're constipated. You're going to go, no, they don't. They go to the bathroom. Well, it's not what comes in. It's not what comes out. It's what stays in. If you go to my website, how do we get protein? You don't need protein, love. Love and kindness, you don't need protein. You need amino acids, okay? It's amino acids the human body needs. Go do some work on some real science. All protein has to go into the body. Does anybody know that just a handful of beans has more protein in it than a 12-ounce steak? Does anybody know that? Does anybody know you can get it from lentils, you get it from beans, you get it from sprouts? Does anybody know that there's protein in fruit, there's protein in vegetables, or it wouldn't have structure? You're not going to get it as concentrated as the other foods. Listen, you know what? I don't, okay, so, here's me, okay? So I'm not telling you but look I don't eat animal protein. Okay? I don't eat it. It's very rare that I'll eat it. And even if I have some organic turkey at Thanksgiving, I'm not going to load it down with gravy and potatoes. You don't want to mix proteins and starches together. That's the bloated person. If you have animal protein or if you have protein, you can have steamed vegetables and a salad. If you have starches, you can have steamed vegetables and a salad. But remember something, we have to drink our solids and chew our liquids. Did you get that? Do you provide any drinks at the meal, like water or milk or juice or something at the table?
Yes.
What do you provide at the table, love?
Water and iced tea.
So what's the iced tea made out of? Sugar and black tea?
Yes.
And a white sugar in it, right? Okay, well, white sugar is poison. So just know that. And the tea is caffeinated. So if you're giving them tea and white sugar, you're actually destroying their digestion. You just turned off their enzymes to digest their food. And you also stimulated them that now their hunger's gone and they don't want to eat your meal, but now you're upset and you're telling them they eat all their food before they leave the table. Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you see the problem we're having here? Can you speak a little louder?
Yes.
Okay, because I can't hear you. All right.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. There should be no liquid at the table. Why? Because your family doesn't drink enough water throughout the day to keep them hydrated. So when they go to eat food, guess what? They don't have enough saliva in their mouth from drinking enough water, so they have to wash the food down in chunks. Now, did you know the bigger the chunk that a person takes down, see, if I chewed my food down into the smallest little microbe, okay, all right, I'm going to get all the nutrition. Did you know that ready for this? I can eat 25% of the food that you eat if I chew it and it's a liquid before it goes down and it's small little molecules, and I'll have, ready for this? 40% more energy than you, but you ate all that food and you spent all that money. Because you don't have a second set of teeth down in your stomach. And guess what? The more that you chew your food and the smaller the particle, okay, guess what? 1 second. And the smaller the particle, your digestive enzymes will only digest the outside of it. So if it's a small particle, then you're just going to take it all in. You're going to take the whole thing up. So what if you were to have your children and your husband? Well, he won't do it. He's probably the man of the family. I don't know, because that's the way most guys are. I'm the man of the family. Don't tell me what to do. Okay, so anyways, but guess what? Your kids take a mouthful. They put the fork down on the table, and then you go, let's everybody chew your food until it becomes a liquid. You will have no more sore throats. You'll have no more constipation. Okay? Just think of all the headaches that you won't have. Okay? Trying to help them get well, and you don't even know how to get your kids well because you don't understand that 95% of all pain in everybody all the way through their life is their bowel. And everybody's going to say, I've got good bowel movements, and I don't know anyone with good bowel movements. Do you know that only one person out of 100 doesn't have parasites? Did you get that? Doesn't have worms. And the reason why people have worms is they do just like you do. They don't combine their food properly. They don't chew their food properly, and they eat too many dead animals. Now, if you saw a dead animal on the road, please don't get me wrong, but how long would it take before there would be all kinds of parasites and worms in it, eating it and digesting it? So you do know it's pretty hot down there in your intestines and your large intestine. So if you're eating meat in chunks, okay, all right, if you're eating meat in chunks, just know that you are actually breeding worms and parasites and bad bacteria, okay, and fungus. And guess what? Let's add the white sugar in there, okay? And how many cookies do your kids eat? How many donuts do they eat? How often do you add white sugar to things? Every time they're good, you say, honey, mommy's going to give you a treat, but then you give them sugar, don't you? Or you gave them something that was made out of flour and sugar and maybe a little bit of milk, right? And all of those things we know destroys the digestive tract. Now, are you a bad mommy? No. And you're going right now, God, I wish I could get off of this show. The reality is there's nothing bad about you. You are just frustrated, though, aren't you? You're frustrated, yes or no?
Yes.
Would you like to stay frustrated for the rest of your life like 99% of the females out there? Or I'm going to send you my guide. You're going to read through it. And then if you want to come back on, I promise you, I will create a perfect day for you and your family, and I won't charge you. Now, have I made you feel bad? Have I put you down? I told you that you need to love yourself, care for yourself, and allow your children to love themselves too. I said that if you look at getting into a more whole plant-based foods, you're just going to bring up your children's vibration and their detoxification. That's all that's going to happen. Listen, when you look at a food from now on, I want you to say, how high is the frequency in this food? How much light is stored in this food? Is this food going to give my children energy? Is it going to detoxify them and do everything? Or will it stagnate inside of them, putrefy and rot? You know, your daughter's how old?
She's 12 years old.
12 years old, and she weighs 120 pounds, and she's 12 years old. So she's got, what, 40 pounds overweight? Do you not notice your daughter sneaking everything that's made out of flour and sugar? Do you not notice that she's got worms? Your daughter has worms, and your daughter has fungus. Okay, so your daughter will be dealing with bladder problems, vaginitis, and painful periods. Okay, has that started yet? It has started already. So guess what? There's your horror story. Now, guess what? Are you going to stop making these things? Probably not, because you and your husband are addicted to them too. Now what are you going to do? So now when you try to get your daughter off of these cookies and bread and the sugar and the dairy, okay? When you try to get her off the flour, the sugar, and the dairy, okay? Guess what? She's going to get really irritable, because did you know that your daughter's a druggie? You do know that sugar's a drug. Do you know that sugar is 8 times more addictive, okay, than cocaine? So when you try to get her off of the sugar, even if you hide the white sugar, she's going to go try to find it, okay? And guess what? Your daughter also, does she feel, would you say that your daughter is overly emotionally sensitive?
Yes, she has that.
Okay, and do you know why she wants all this sweetness in her body? Because she doesn't think she has enough sweetness in her life. Now, who, or both you or your husband, who could be sweeter and more loving and more gentle to her? Which one?
Me?
Okay, so were you brought up really hardcore by your mother? Just yes or no. You already know the answer. You remember. Why are you so hard on your daughter?
Oh, I'm not hard. No.
No? Okay. Got it.
No,
But why do you say you could love her better?
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Then you're hard on her. It's okay. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I was hard on my kids until I realized I was a bully. And I'm going to tell you something. Nobody's going to like this. 99% of the parents out there are bullies. And do you know why? Because they were bullied when they were younger. And everybody runs programs and they don't even see it. You're not a bad person. But now that I brought this up, you're going to take a look at it, aren't you? You don't know. You can't do, look at everybody out there. You can't do better till you know better. My God, we are all created by God Almighty. We are spirits of God before we come and get infused. And then we go into mother's womb. And guess what? We've got 2 adulterated parents. It's not their fault. But somebody's got to stop the family curse. Somebody's got to be more loving and more considering. And somebody's got to go, look at, I know I'm bringing poison into the house. My God, if your daughter's 40 pounds overweight, that's 40 pounds of inflammation and infection. She's going to have a miserable life. I hope you get that. She's not going to feel pretty. She's not going to feel smart because she's going to get picked on. Okay? And guess what? She'll want to find some kind of comfort, and it's going to be in comfort foods, and she's just going to blow up. And she's not going to be happy. But she'll make the best out of it like everybody else. My name is Daryl Wolf, Dr. Wolf, whatever you want to call me. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna stand up for every human being because human beings are good. Their belief systems are not great because we were programmed all the way through school. Most churches do such bad programming. All government does it. All medical system does it. You know, people are beautiful. And you know what? We have been harvested and abused, and we're enslaved by our thoughts. And we've got to change our thoughts. Am I helping you out, or am I just giving you a hard time?
No, helping me out. You're helping me out.
The biggest problem will be with your husband. Okay? Because you could actually change the diet, and your children would go through detox, and their addictions would calm down. I hope you know that. And it would take about with your daughter because she's how old again? 12. So you're looking at about 6 weeks of tantrums, moodiness, okay? But the more you feed her better and the more water she drinks and the more you get her to start using the bathroom, to start creating a new routine. But if you were to get your daughter on daily cleansing tea and put black gold into her 2 smoothies a day made out of berries, it's all in my book. I hope you know you just got rid of her painful periods, all of her pain in her pelvis, okay? All right. How would you like to go to bed with pain every night? You know, I went to bed with pain every night when I was younger. I had colitis for years, colitis. I was very sensitive. I knew what was going on with my parents and their fighting. And also I'm blood type A, so which means I can't eat a lot of animal protein or dairy or it just rocks my world. And blood type A's don't understand that. Even though you're blood type O and you can digest it, it's still going to backfire on you. You'll wake up someday with a bloody tumor in you. I'm telling you, everybody the truth here. You know, unless you have to bring you want to be around high vibrational people, high vibrational drink, high vibrational food, high vibrational habits, high vibrational. What do you do in your spare time? You know, it's like everything comes together to create this beautiful world, or this world that it just sucks us down. But the reality is this: they use white sugar to actually. White sugar is the biggest culprit to make everyone sick, so they'll get on drugs. And understand, white sugar is for children gets them ready to become alcoholics or drug addicts. That's all I'm telling you. So get rid of the white sugar, because that will cause drug addicts, alcoholics, and it will, because you're going to keep on craving the stimulation. Okay, I've always stimulated myself. Okay, and that's what this sugar does. It's a stimulator, not a regenerator. So you need to know that. But you already knew that, didn't you? But you still bring it into the house, because I already told you it's so easy to program a human being to be a human doing and just buy this stuff that actually undermines the family's health. So the reality is, your kids will think you're stricter for a while when you take away the foods. So you got to gently take them away, not overnight, but the white sugar's got to go right away. Okay, the flour products, you know, bread's dead. Doesn't matter if it's a donut, a cookie, or bread. It's just gumming them up. You know, whole grains are what we're looking for, right? Whole grains, you know, like ancient grains, like kamut, organic brown rice. How do you get my book? Well, you just go to Perfect Day Guide. See the thing is, everybody, I don't want to sell myself out for money. So if people get you're wrong, somebody says. Why don't you emphasize that a little bit more? You're wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. Thank you. And the book comes with a consult. You can get the PDF if you want. It's free. It's with the $150 consult, or pay $225 and get a consult. We'll send you the audio. You'll have lifetime support on our 800 number. And this person keeps saying I'm wrong. Adrian, why don't you tell me why I'm wrong so we can talk about it? Because if I am wrong, I want you to enlighten me, my friend. And I mean that, okay? Okay, so Adrian, please, come on, let's go. Come on, let's do this. Am I wrong, or did I just come up against beliefs that we're not willing to let go yet? And I could be wrong. So Adrian keeps just going, you are wrong, you are wrong. That's all I can do. Okay, great. Anyways, I've been wrong before. I'm going to be wrong again. And then if I am wrong, I will apologize and I'll straighten it out right away. I promise you that. Okay? Oh, Adrian, please stop saying you're wrong. Okay? You must be a robot. Okay. So the Perfect Day Guide comes with $225 if you want the manual. But guys, it is like, I could go grab it, but I don't want to leave right now. The manual's this big. It's 525 pages. It's a graphic artist masterpiece. Okay? And the reality is, I promise you that in this book, you will go, this book is worth $10,000 by the time you read it. And if you ever get a consult from us and you're unhappy, you can call me, or you can just call up and say, I want my money back. They'll give you the $150. That won't break me. But we get very few people wanting their money back, even though we give a money back guarantee, because I think you can tell who I am already. Okay, I'm willing to learn from you, and I'm willing for you to teach me what I don't know. But I think when you go into this book, I think you're going to find that it's going to rock your world. It'll rock your whole family. I'm actually going to show you also, Karina, that with your kids, the different illnesses they have, you're going to find out the different emotional blocks that they have, okay? I didn't say cookies are good. I didn't say cookies are good. No, cookies are not good. But if you heard that cookies are good, I get it, okay? I wish they were good too. I'm a cookie monster if I don't watch myself, okay? So let's talk about now. So I will tell you this. So for your daughter, daily cleansing tea and black gold. It's not a lot of money, but with the black gold, I'm going to need you to mix that in the soup, okay? And you're going to, each time they get a teaspoon, they want 2 teaspoons for children a day, 2 tablespoons for adults a day, 1 tablespoon twice a day. Do you know why? Because the black gold is a humic fulvic. We're the only ones in the world that produce humic fulvic without chemicals. And guess what? When you put that humic fulvic into her soup, or you make a blender drink out of strawberries, oat milk, maybe even 1 raw egg. Did you know, Karina, that when you take a raw egg and you give a raw egg into the blender drink for your kids, they absorb 70 to 80% of it? When you cook it, fry it, guess what? They absorb only 17 to 20. So understand there's a lot of wastage there. And you want them to be strong. You don't even have to tell them you put the eggs in. You give them a blender drink before they go to school or in the morning, a big blender drink with a raw egg in it. And then you can use oat milk or almond milk. Try to do the Yucca app to make sure they don't have gums in it and a bunch of poisons. Because you have to understand, you might go to the health food store and go, oh my God, this is so pure. And guess what? Next week it's not. Because what they do is they wait until all the products that people love that are totally great for you and organic and pure, and then they go and buy out the company, and then they stick their poisons in. What a game, eh? And understand, that's never going to change, because these guys control the world, and they've been allowed to control the world from the beginning. And they're going to always control the world, but they don't have to control your family. But who's going to be the guard dog for the house here? Karina, your husband, you? And if you two aren't the guard dog, and if you guys can't, and you and your husband can't give up your addictions, then what are we really going to do for your kids, right? Okay? So somebody's asking again, yeah, you can go to Doc of Detox, click on Perfect Day Consultations, and you can get a consult for $150. You'll get my PDF, my manual, for free. And if you want to pay $225, you'll get the hardcover bounded. This is anyways, wait till somebody buys one and then you'll want one. Or wait until you get the PDF and you're scrolling through and you see how much we've done for you. Because this manual, if Karina goes through this and reads this and actually takes action, she'll be smarter than any practitioner she goes to. Nobody will be able to screw you around again. When the doctor says, oh, I'll keep an eye on that for you, or you need to take this drug, well, you won't even be there to take the drug. You're only there to take the drug because your kids are inflamed. They've got a fever, which we know that warm water enema with tummy love in it, 1 tablespoon of tummy love, within 10 minutes is going to bring the fever down. Or you could rush off to the hospital and freak your kids out and then let them go and give them drugs. So there's your choice. Are the Australian practitioners offering this? So what we're going to do is we will have copies for you in Australia. And, Tora, right? Tora Klein, she's going to be selling them, okay? So anybody can get the manuals from Tora Klein. So if you're a practitioner there, you can get the manuals from her. And if you're not a practitioner, you can buy these manuals from her. Just give me 6 weeks. And they will be in Australia, and they will be there. And we'll try to get the price down as low as the one we have right now for you. Okay, so just know this. I have to run off 2,000 of these manuals at a time to keep that price this low and then be able to ship it to everyone. So, but let me work on Australia next week. Okay, thank you. Let me see here. So, your autistic child, how autistic is he?
Very bad.
Pardon?
No socializing, not really talking, putting into communication, very frustrated, angry.
Okay. Well, listen to me. I would be angry too. And he's angry at his life, and he's angry at you. And guess what? You don't deserve the anger. But I will tell you this much. I'm going to send you the book. You're going to look at it. If you want to come back on, we won't talk about all this stuff. We'll just build a protocol for your daughter. We'll build a protocol for your son. If we want, we'll build a protocol for you. Oh, do you understand? I'm going to tell you what I would do if you were my wife. If I was you, I'm going to tell you what I would do if I had your autistic son, what I would do if I was your autistic child, if she was my child. That's it. And most of it is going to be, doesn't cost you a thing. Okay? All right? Now, understand this. Your child needs essential fatty acids. Here's the products I want you to look at. Okay? So what I want you to do you have Facebook?
Yes, I do.
Okay, if you can't find this, then you can go tomorrow to Telegram. And no, this might not be on there till Monday. But this will be on, all my shows are on Telegram at Doc of Detox. But if you go on here on Facebook and find this, here's what you need. If you could give me more symptoms of your daughter and your son after you read my book, or just go through, I'm going to tell you what to read to, because I don't want you to read it all, because I want you to just read certain things and then come back to me if you want me to follow through with you. First of all, like I said, your daughter, the 13-year-old, daily cleansing tea, black gold. And you've got to increase her water intake. She's 120 pounds, okay? Your daughter needs a minimum, are you ready for this? 2.5 quarts a day of water. 2.5 quarts, did you get that? Your daughter's not even drinking a half a quart a day. Please go monitor before you say no. Because I love it when parents just go, no, I know she does more. Yeah, you know what? Parents actually think they drink water and they don't. It's all an illusion. So I want you to take a look at give her a 1 quart bottle and see if you can get her to at least go to 1 quart, then 1.5 quarts, then 2 quarts, and then, do you understand? But it would be 2.5 quarts. People don't drink water. They think they drink water. I drink 5 quarts a day. And then they'll come out every once in a while and say, yeah, there was a woman in London, England, and they just did that 2 weeks ago. There was a woman in London, England, and her family's going to sue the medical doctor because he didn't realize that she had emotional problems, and she drank so much water she died. I mean, seriously, are we going to make that up? I mean, who makes that stuff up? Anyway, so what kind of water does your family drink?
Regular,
well, there's no such thing as regular water.
Yeah, the distilled water.
Okay, so now do you want to know something? Where in nature does nature make distilled water? Nowhere. Guess what? Distilled water can't be digested by the human body properly. Did you know the best water is fast-moving rivers, waterfalls, rainwater, or a structure unit? Please take a look on my website. A water structure unit is going to cost you $300. You can put it under any tap around the world. Okay? Understand that. Or just take your distilled water if you make it. You still got to run it through your structure unit. It doesn't matter about the alkalinity. I'm just trying to tell you that it could even be slightly acidic. Water needs to be structured. Alkalinity has nothing to do. It is so far removed. Alkalinity is how they sell you on drinking water. They always want to sell you and make something important that's not as important. Do you understand? And no minerals, it's dead water. That's not true. Okay, so understand that. You can have minerals in your water, but it depends on the minerals that are in the water. The minerals you want in the water aren't rock minerals, they're plant minerals. So seawater has plant minerals. There are other waters that have plant minerals, but that person who said no minerals, dead water, that's not true. And the person who said spring water, yep, spring water could be good, but alkalinity is not anything to do with it, guys. Add a little bit of sea salt, you're right. You can add a little pinch of sea salt. You should do that to your water all the time. A little pinch of sea salt, you're right. You got that. Now, understand this, distilled water. Do you know that all water has to be structured before it can get in the cells? Did you know there's an aquaporin channel? It's in every cell. And what happens is if the water was structured, okay, and it comes into the body, there's a frequency coming off the structured water. And when it aligns itself up with the aquaporin channel, the aquaporin channel frequency actually causes the water droplet. And a water droplet has 2,500 to 3,000 layers to it. That's what it's made out of. And as soon as that frequency comes off of that, if the water was structured, okay, by a structure unit, when it comes into the body, it instantly goes into the cells. Structured water has 1,000% better hydration on the body and in the cells than any other water. And I'm saying any other water. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, structured water with a little bit of Celtic salt, you're rocking it. You really are. Now, what was I going to say here? So anyways, here's the deal. I love these people who get these Kangen units. That's not structured water. That does have electrons in it. And they get it alkaline at 9.5. I hope you know when you do 9.5 alkalinity to your water, you're damaging your digestive juices in your stomach. So these are people just selling units. Now, is the Kangen unit good? Yeah, but overpriced. A structure unit's $300. And it's going to last you forever. It never breaks down. I'll give you a 90-day money-back guarantee that if it doesn't blow your mind, you send it back to us. I think that's a fair deal. I'm always going to back up my stuff like nobody else. But alkaline water, no, I'm not. It's not the alkaline water. If you want to have the best alkaline water in the world, then you'll buy my Ormus minerals. And now you're going to go, I knew you had a sales pitch. The reality is my Ormus minerals, okay, have the highest electrical charge of any minerals on the planet. And these minerals come from the actual glacier runoff in the Antarctic. Now we take 100 liters of seawater, okay, and we bring that down to 1 liter, and then it goes through a 3-week process of being Ormus. When you make something into Ormus, it works on the emotional, mental body like phenomenal. Listen, okay, here. You take 20 drops twice a day. That's the least I would do of mine. If you did 80 drops of my Ormus minerals and you did that every day with 1/16 to 1/8 of a teaspoon of black diamond, tell me what your life is like after that. That will spark up the electricity in your brain like nothing else. If you were to get your son to drink what I just said, and you were to get him, your autistic son, to drink that water, get the whole family to drink it. But if you get him to drink it, okay, you get him to get on my Ocean Essentials, and you can get your son to do 8 Ocean Essentials twice a day. And if you can get your son to do hemp oil, C60 hemp oil. Okay, first of all, my Ocean Essentials they will absorb into the body 400% better than fish oil. Okay, just know that. So everybody's really getting their bang for their buck. Next thing is with the C60. Ever hear of C60 before? MCT C60? It's the strongest antioxidant on the planet. It's 270 times stronger in vitamin C. And guess what it does? Restores the endocannabinoid system of the brain. So that calms you down. And that's the system that looks after dumping all those beautiful hormones that make you into a peaceful person. And guess what else it does? It actually reconstructs the brain and rewires the brain. Do you think your son could use that? Okay. Your son also needs the daily cleansing tea and the black gold. Those are the things that I would start off with him right away, and you're going to see a difference. And remember something. I'm going to give you my phone number. My phone number, okay, is 469-861-8884. Any of you can call me. If you don't get a call back by the next day, you call me again. You'll never upset me. When you call me, don't go Dr. Wolf. Say, hi, Daryl. Let's be friends right away. Put ourselves on the same level. Don't be putting me up on a pedestal, okay? Because everything I know and everything I do, you can do better. I swear you can do better. I'm giving you my best knowledge in my Perfect Day Guide. And then guess what? You can take that and you can do better. Isn't that what we want? We want everyone to take our stuff and do better with it. And I'm telling you, Mom, Karina, you can do this. Okay? If you want, you can let your husband watch this. And I want tell your husband something. You're both beautiful parents. I already know that. But just what if we were to change our thoughts? Do you think we could change our life? What if we could change our thoughts about the way we thought about raising our kids? What if we changed our thoughts about the way we feed them? What if we changed our thoughts? And remember something. I am not telling you you don't love your kids, you don't treat your kids well, that you're not the best parents in the world. I'm trying to tell you that we are unlimited with our potential and we can always do better. Do you believe we can always do better? I believe we can always do better. And that's the truth. I can do better. We'll never reach our potential down here. But you know what? If we don't change 1% every day on an emotional, physical level, what are we doing? Do you want to stay the same? Do you want to stay the same? If you stay the same, your family's going to stay the same. If you change, will your family change? If you want things to change, you need to change. You need to become the change. If you want your family healed, then you must become the healer. Not me. I'll just take your money. Come to me because you want me to train you. Yes, it's MCT oil. It's actually the highest grade of MCT oil. And we are the only producers of MCT oil. If you take a look at our product, I could go get it, but I don't want to. But it's purple in color. There's a company that sells Purple Power. They use actually palm oil to give them the purple color. And we're the only people, how we make it is we get a big crystal, 250 quart crystal. It looks like an upside down bell. And we put $10,000 stereo system headphones on it. And we put in the frequency of love. And we run it in the dark. And we have a huge spinner. And it spins for 4 weeks. And we put in the C60 into the MCT. And we also do that with the hemp oil. And our hemp oil is the most expensive oil. And it comes out of Canada. And understand, hemp oil doesn't get you high. Okay, but what it does do is it repairs the endocannabinoid system. And it has the same thing that the MCT has. And the hemp oil tastes kind of nutty flavor. And it's still on sale. I think I have my hemp oil on for like 40% off right now or something like that. 30 or 40% off. And I'm doing it because I'm introducing hemp oil to the world because people don't get it. That hemp oil will heal you. It'll heal you on so many levels. Okay? All right? How are we doing? Huh?
Good, good. Very
Good. Good. What questions do you have for me?
I just a little bit missed about the minerals. How many like drops? Yeah, just.
Oh, okay. Listen, love. I will go really slow now, and whatever questions you have. So understand something. I kind of get excited and speak too fast. And so never apologize to ask me questions or to ask me to repeat things. Never humble yourself down in front of me, okay? We are equals, okay? So I'll speak slower. So the Ormus minerals, I'm going to tell you, if you give your autistic son 80 drops of those minerals a day, it makes the water taste better, and so does the black diamond. So 1/8 of a teaspoon in every quart liter of water for him. And then I want you to do 20 drops of the Ormus minerals 4 times a day in liquid. You could put it in a soup. You could hide it in a blender drink. You can hide this stuff. You can hide all of this stuff. It doesn't matter. I just said to put it in the water. That's how I do it. But you can hide it anywhere. You could hide it in your husband's food. He wouldn't know it, but guess what? He'll be changing. You can even take my daily cleansing tea. So the daily cleansing tea, you need to get the family on. Start them off with 4 ounces in the morning, 4 ounces at night. You watch how much comes out of them. It'll blow their mind. Because here's the deal. People will eat 3 meals a day but have 1 bowel movement. Why is it that I eat 1 meal a day and I have 2 to 3 movements? Because transit time is quicker and my bowel movements, take your finger like this, love. Karina, go like this. Your second finger to your thumb. Okay, now you know if every child does that and everybody in the family has to do it for themselves, that's how big their bowel movement is in round and width, okay? You see? And in length, okay, it's 5 to 7 inches for your children and for your husband. And it's supposed to float and have no cracks. It's not supposed to sink to the bottom. And it's not supposed to have bubbles on it because it's got so much gas. And it's also not supposed to smell. Okay? So understand something. We got trouble in River City here. The reality is potty training, if we did that from the very time that we give birth, you know what? That's the deal. And this is where those psychos have got us. They've, whether you believe it or not, everybody that has any type of illness has bowel rot. And guess what? As if we didn't know. Look at how many men out there look like they're 3 months to 12 months pregnant. I'm waiting for them to give birth. How many women out there look like they're ready to give birth and they're not? It's because the infection is causing inflammation, and the inflammation is causing dehydration, which is causing their tissues to become scar tissue. And that's what aging is. I'm never going to age. Oh yes, I'll get older in years. I'll pass on from this planet. But nobody's going to go, he walks like an old man. He talks like an old man. I don't talk like I'm 67. I don't talk like 67. I don't walk like 67. I don't live like 67. I don't think like it. And also I bought into that BS program of unconditional love for myself and everyone else. So the reality is, if I'm not going around judging people, I'm not putting a lot of chokeholds on and I'm spending my time hating things. God, people even hate, well, I hate broccoli. Well, then don't eat it. Don't think about it. So why do you want to talk about it? Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Okay. So I know it's kind of out there, and I'm not trying to do that to you. But, start with these things. And then don't forget, Ocean Essentials for your son, black diamond, okay? Black gold. He's going to do 1 level tablespoon of black gold twice a day. And you're going to put that in a blender drink made out of beautiful strawberries or blueberries and oat milk or almond milk. And then you can even put a couple of raw eggs in. And guess what? Everybody out there that's freaking because we need our animal protein, eggs are the easiest to digest. And if you give him 1 or 2 raw eggs, he's going to be full with a blender drink all the way for maybe about 4 to 6 hours. And guess what? If he says he wants a snack, that means it's time for him to have sugar or flour to feed the fungus in him. All autistic children are full of fungus. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. And they have bowel problems. I could teach you so much, but this book, just read it. You're going to find out about, when you go in there, you don't have to go there. You can go into my library. The things I would do in my library, how would you like to watch a real master class that I put a lot of money into, has a lot of different videos. It's really well done. Go watch Reverse the Irreversible. Okay. Reverse the Irreversible. It's a master class. Go to my library. Just click on docofdetox.com. Click on library. Go watch Reverse the Irreversible. Also watch How to Become Number 1 at the Art of Number 2. I'm telling you, you're going to find out something. And then go and watch. Let me see, what other one would I give you? I have a lot of them. But do those 2, and you're going to get a really good sense of the idea. You can play around in there yourself. I've got in there the emotional chemistry of cancer, disease, and healing, the biggest study that was ever done on cancer that the medical system suppressed. I have I have a master class in there if you wanted to do a 33-day master class. I used to charge $1,000, now it's free. And it's all about your emotional healing and emotional health. It takes 33 days. That's in the library. Okay, I've got one called The Meat and Potato Man. That one's only an hour long, and it's me talking about the life of a meat and potato couple, and just, you know, how he's starving when he gets home. He gulps down the food. Then he's got gas, and the farts blow him over to the couch. Then he falls asleep. You know, I just show the normal life here. But go play with those things. But go into the manual, and I need you to go look at the Perfect Day Lifestyle Diet. Okay? And then you can come back to me. Now, let's do one last thing before we go. So, first thing in the morning, what do you feed your kids?
Usually like cereal, or I make waffles, pancakes.
1 second. Okay, so let's stop there. So, cereal. Okay, what kind of cereal?
Most of the time, oat.
Like oats, like what? Cheerios?
Cheerios.
Okay, so just know this. Cheerios are GMO.
GMO. Yeah.
They're GMO. So now when they're going in, those Cheerios actually, the GMO are actually, where do you find the book? Well, everybody, you can get my book right now free, Healthy to 100. That will blow your mind. It really will. I wrote that 13 years ago. It was a bestseller. And you can buy it for $15, but you can get it free in my library, Healthy to 100 book. Go read it. It's really funny, but it's going to teach you about the foundation of real healing. And then those of you that want the Perfect Day Guide, like I said, you got to go and get a consult. I'm not going to give everybody this 40 years of work unless they come and get a Perfect Day consult so they understand how to emotionally and physically look after themselves from the moment they rise until they close their eyes. As a professional, my job is not to have the thought of just making money, please. That's got to stop. I need people that want to come in and they want to pay $150 for the consult. And if they want the hard copy, it's $75 more, $2.25. Where are you going to get a consult for $225 that gives you lifetime support, call-in support, and on a toll-free number? End of story on that one. But if you want, you can get my book, my Perfect Day book. If you pay $150 and you get a consult, we'll send it to you. And then if you think we ripped you off, just call up and say, I want my $150 back, because you won't. We're teaching you how to have a perfect day on an emotional and physical level. And we're going to work with you for 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 10 years. How long do you want us to work with you for free? We're going to do it. Let me tell you something. People that go and get a consult from anywhere, and then they go home with a bunch of products, they always fall off the cliff. If you're not the master of your mind and your body, you're not getting well. It'll be temporary. That's all I can say. Okay? So anyways, you can get my Healthy to 100 book from the library. And then if you want, you can go to docofdetox.com, click on consultation, and get a consultation. All right? Where were we, love?
We're talking about the books and the library.
Yeah. So just do the homework. You know what? Did you ever notice something? Whenever you put massive personal action and effort into something, how well did it turn out? Do you want to keep on using the same rules and the same beliefs and get the same results? Or do you want some different beliefs and some different strategies, and I'll blow your mind? I give a money-back guarantee on all my treatments, all my courses, all my certifications, all my consults, because guess what? I will stand on top of them. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Is there any other questions?
I think the one, my brother.
Can you speak louder?
Yes, my brother-in-law is, I think he's suffering. He's almost ending his life. He had a colon cancer, and now, you know, now he's in a bed, not talking anymore. It's so sad. Like, I wish I knew about you, or like.
Well, you can't, okay, the other thing is you can't, if you want to be sad about everything that you think you should be sad for, you're not going to have anything left of you. You know, we always want to help our families, and that's great. And I'll tell you what, I'm here. You tell his wife, or you get on. If you want, I'll use my Zoom, and I'll bring you on because I'd want you on because you instigated the trouble. I'm kidding. And I want you to bring them on Zoom, and then I will show, if nothing else, we can give his wife some relief that it's not her fault. We can give the wife relief on things that she can do to make him more comfortable. And if they really want to go for it, I have a protocol called stealth glucose. And I'll tell you what, you go first, go into my library, because I'm not allowed to sell this product on my website in my store. And it's not because it's toxic, it's not because it's illegal, it's because when you go in there, you're going to find out why. I was told by the FDA that if I put it on my store, they'll shut me down. I have to have people call in, and the information has to be in my library. It can't be out in the open. So please go to my library, go to Calcium Ion Therapy Guide, and then go in there. Calcium ion therapy is totally amazing. It's a miracle product they said could never be invented. But then I want you to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and I want you to watch Stealth Glucose. You watch that. And then also what I want you to do is I want you to go into the Thunder Shrooms guide in my library and take a look at Critical Care Thunder Shrooms. You can believe me or not believe me, but we have people that will take the Critical Care Thunder Shrooms and they will go on the Stealth Glucose protocol, and they were told they only had days. Okay? I don't want to say any more because then it just sounds like I am trying to promote myself. I'm not going to say anymore. You do your homework. So yes, all cereals are pretty well sprayed with glyphosate. They're GMOs. And every box of cereal you buy from the grocery store is poisoning your family. And if it says it's totally organic, it might be. But guess what? All refined carbohydrates work on the body just like sugar. So you are creating a real problem in your family with every time you do that. You make pancakes, you're using flour, and it's the same problem. Pancakes should be like once a month. If you want to do waffles, they're even worse than pancakes. They're right up there with Cheerios and GMO. Okay, they destroy you. And then you let your kids put what? Honey on, or what? Corn syrup or what?
Usually maple syrup.
Well, that's better. But the reality is this. None of these products are good. Just know that not eating one waffle and one pancake is healthy. Do you understand?
Yes.
What's healthy is oats, like cooked oats, like oatmeal, right? From steel cut oats. That's healthy. Okay, with almond milk or oat milk, and then with a little bit of maple syrup or a little bit of honey in there. That you can give that to your kids. Now you're going to start seeing some changes. But guess what? There's nothing wrong with, I'd rather give my kids eggs every day than that stuff. Okay? And then don't give them hard boiled. That'll constipate them. There's a clue there, hard boiled. Don't give them fried. The more you fry, the sooner you die. The more you cook, the worse you look. That's why you want to read my Perfect Day book. Okay. So, but the best way to give somebody an egg is raw. Raw eggs, that's it. You know what? They can digest that. They won't get constipated from it. They'll be able to break down the protein properly into amino acids. I mean, I got people on here going, well, what about protein deficiency? There's no such thing. When's the last time you heard that somebody had protein deficiency? Seriously. Okay? All right? Even when somebody has iron deficiency, it's actually a bacterial problem. People don't know that. Okay? because it's your bacteria that helps to process the iron you take in. That's why people that get iron shots and people that take iron tablets, they just get constipated and their iron doesn't come up, okay? Because it's all about your bowel. Your bowel is 85% of your immune system. It's also the smartest brain in your body is in your bowel. It's your bacteria. It's not your brain. Because guess what? The brain actually is only a computer, and whatever belief systems are in there, if they're stupid, then you are. If they're unhealthy, then you are. If I'm telling you the truth. If that's the way it is. Belief systems create and make and shape us. And the reality is only 10% of our brain is our conscious brain. And people are only in the conscious moment 2% of the day unless they know what they're doing. I'm coming out with an app called Braveheart Nation app. This app is going to blow everybody's minds. There's never been an app brought out like this that is for free. Okay, 90% of this app is free. And it will be the most powerful app that the world has seen. I'm telling you, it's my goal. I want to bring the thunder down that way. This app will even have where you can set it that, guess what? Every minute there's a little ding, every 2 minutes or every 3 minutes, and it goes right up to 15 minutes. And the reason why I did that is because, do you know how you change a person? Repetition. Now, if I was like freaking out, okay, or I was miss anxiety and didn't even know it, which is almost everybody, when this little bell goes off, you have to say to yourself, am I smiling? Do I have a slight smile? Am I connected to my breath and breathing in 6 seconds out, 7 seconds? Okay. Am I in the present moment and loving my life? Or am I guilty for something? Or am I fearing my future? So that little ding, I've changed more people's lives, but I'm putting this right on the app so that they have it. And there's going to be lots of things. Go into my 12 loving steps and see if you can give your kids, get them Braveheart love bands, 3, 2, 1, I got this. And every time they have negative thoughts against themselves or you or the world, 3, 2, 1, I got this. If they count backwards, it'll stop the negative program because the subconscious can't count backwards. And every time I do this, that's a kiss. This is snug as a hug. And every time they snap it, it'll snap them back into the present. Why don't you teach your kids how to love themselves unconditionally? And tell your kids that they're geniuses. And tell your kids that they need to find their passion and purpose and not let anybody talk them out of it for the rest of their life. And what is it you want to become? What is it you want to do? And then if your child goes, I want to be this, and then you put all that money into it, and then one day they come home and go, I want to be something else. Don't get pissed off at them. Don't do that. Okay, my children would go, and we put all the money into it, and then they'd go, I want to do something else. My wife would get really upset, and I'd go, stop. Let's let them find themselves. You know, oh my God, look at the money I invested into you. Really? No. Give everything as a gift. Give everything as a gift. Let's see if we can become unconditional love to ourselves so that we can give it to our children, so that we can break the family curse of judgment. What do you think, sweetheart?
Agree.
Okay. I want to thank you because I know you're a beautiful woman. You just need to find your power a little bit more and stand in it. Okay? All right?
Yes.
Feel free to give me a call even this Monday. I'm going to send you my book right now. I'm going to send you the PDF, The Perfect Day. It's called The Ultimate Guide, and it is the ultimate guide. And I would like any practitioner out there, any medical doctor, or anybody that has read every health book and challenge me on that. It is called The Ultimate Guide, The Perfect Day. Okay? Thank you, sweetie. And I want to thank everybody else, but guess what? I'm overdue. I'm looking at the water right now, and I'm in Ixtapa, and I'm going to go do a half-a-mile swim, okay? And just know this, January 8th, we're going to be doing the Whole Life Coach certification down here, then the Wolf Non-Surgical certification, the most powerful. When you go to your body worker, does he give you a money-back guarantee that he's going to blow your mind and do more than anything else in one treatment than all the other stuff put together? That's what we do. If you're booked for surgery, just know you don't have to go. You're created by God Almighty. Let's start acting like it. And if you come to us for non-surgical, we'll give your money back if we don't prove that your body will heal itself. How's that? Is that a good enough deal? Anyway, so we're going to be teaching the Whole Life Coach certification, which is 9 days at the Cala de Mar. It's a 4-diamond resort. in Ixtapa, Mexico. And understand something, Mexico is the safest place I've ever been in the world. So just know, if you're in the United States or Canada, they're lying to you because they don't want you to come down here to know that you can eat organic. There's no GMOs, there's no chemtrails, and the people are beautiful. And the cartel, please stop. I'm really tired of that one. The reality is I live in the United States and I live in Canada. I live in the United States and Mexico. And Mexico is going to be my main home. I can I can go to the juicery. I can see it from over here. There's a big vegetable market. And first of all, my vegetables are only 25 to 30% of what they are in the United States. Second thing is I can get a gallon of fresh beet and carrot juice for, are you ready for this? Hope you are. 280 pesos. That's about 14 bucks. Okay? I can only, for $14, that's 14 ounces of juice up in United States, and they've already juiced it, and it's sitting in a jar. Thank you. Can't do it. Won't do it. And I can go down here if I want to get fresh fish, and I can buy a really beautiful piece of fish about this big, right? Right? Okay, what is that going to cost me? A big one like that? It's going to cost me $2. Okay. All right. So the reality is I want to eat good. I want to live good. I've got sunshine every day. Check out Ixtapa, Mexico. I live in Zihuatanejo, but Ixtapa, Mexico is just about 8-minute drive that way. There's only 35,000 people here, and the people are beautiful. And I just love my life, and I hope you love yours. God bless everyone, and let's just do this, okay? 3, 2, 1. We got this. This here is repetition. They brainwash you to hurt yourself and hurt others. Now brainwash yourself to stop hurting yourself. And here, let me just say this, okay? Here's my oath. And if you did this 10 times in the morning and then 10 times at night before you went to bed, first thing in the morning and night, try this, okay? I am love. I am healed. I am Braveheart. Today and every day, from the moment I rise until I close my eyes, I will love. I will honor. I will respect. I will protect myself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. Because I can. I'm healed. I am love, and I am Braveheart. And understand something. You need to know this. You can't give what you're not. So become all, so that you can give all. Have a beautiful night. God bless.